Hey, and welcome back to How to Be Real, a place where we can be real in a world obsessed with fake. I am Tasha B. I'm an actor, a filmmaker, and creator who is focusing on what's important and blocking out the noise these days.
I love that. And I'm Tay. I'm a creative producer, lover of all things wellness, and your favorite local yogi.
And after we get that out the way, I say, how you doing, Tay?
Girl, I'm flowing with it. Okay. Like a girl on the flow, flowing with life. That's, gotta keep it real. But yeah, I'm doing cool. I feel like it's really been, it's been a couple of days that have just been feeling like, all right, we're on the move. I had a few opportunities to make choices for myself to where it's like, do you want to be more busy and make more money? Or do you want to be less busy and have more time for yourself?
Different types of wealth.
Yes. And I will say that I did choose myself.
Ooh, I love that for you.
Yes, me too. So yeah, that's where I'm at. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Like I said, blocking out the noise. There's a lot of noise. Lots of noise. And I mean, it's important to stay, I don't know, like aware of what's happening and, at least pay somewhat attention. But it's really, for me, a lot. I feel like there's an intention behind all of this stuff that's bombarding us. So I feel like I have to combat that by setting my own intention of like, no, I'm going to choose when this is too much. And then I'm going to, like you said, choose me and be like, let me go over here because this is too much.
Yes.
So yeah.
Good for you.
I've been feeling good. Just really focusing, making sure that that's my resistance.
Yes.
Focusing on, I'm choosing where my focus goes.
That's a word.
That's a power.
That's a power.
Power. Don't give it away.
Okay. Yes. I love that.
But I also am feeling really good because we got a really sweet review.
Oh my God.
Like listen to this. Tell us this is not like, oh my God, this is the show.
Seriously.
Like, this is the show. So this review is on our Apple Podcasts. If you're listening, thank you. Please leave a review if you have not, because we will read it.
If you like it. Truly.
So this review comes from Saint Theodore. And the tagline is "Real talk without the therapy bill."
I love that already.
Tasha B and Taylor aren't here to fix you. They're just here to make sure you don't drown in a sea of curated perfection. How to Be Real is like a group chat with your smartest, funniest, least filtered friends who won't let you get away with lying to yourself. They talk wellness, therapy, pop culture, and the absurdity of modern life with the kind of honesty that makes you laugh, cringe, and rethink your last Instagram caption. They're not therapists. They just have them on speed dial.
Period. Like I need a plaque that says that.
I mean, like, what? We need to just print that out and just
so good.
Thank you for that, Saint Theodore. We really appreciate that. Again, as y'all know, we have worked tirelessly to keep consistency and just keep growing and building How to Be Real up to what we dream it to be. And really what it is. We're both very grateful to be here. We're very thankful to each and every person that listens to our podcast, especially when you take the time out of your day to give some focus to us. And give us a rate, a review, a comment, a like, a share. All of that just really, it means so much to us. So
it does. It has a bigger impact than you know,
dude. Absolutely. Because as you see, we are, if you're watching, we're back at my house just because scheduling and studio and, again, doing whatever we need to do to stay consistent, bring this show to the audience, because we appreciate y'all and we do not want to take y'all for granted. We want to keep providing you guys with the value that you know and love on a consistent basis. And we owe it to ourselves as well. Again, that focus where it belongs, in the places that are constructive, in the places where we can make a difference, and in the places that it feels good. Because choosing How to Be Real, I don't know about you, Tay, but choosing How to Be Real is choosing me.
Okay, absolutely. Beautifully said. I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, Saint Theodore, for taking your time. And shout out to our first review of 2025.
I know. My God, awesome. How lovely. So with that, that'll bring us to our shout outs.
Shout outs.
And this episode, we are shouting out Miss Joy-Ann Reid.
Yes.
She's an American progressive political commentator and television host. She was a national correspondent for MSNBC and is best known for hosting the political commentary program, The Readout. From 2020 to, sadly, 2025.
I know.
MSNBC ended her show and terminated her. Of course, everyone's ending their DEI, and we all know that's what that's about.
Yep.
I heard a little bit of chatter about MSNBC shopping the show to potential buyers, which we know the billionaire class and the people who can afford to buy MSNBC tend to sway the wrong way, if you ask me. And, for me, all that says is if you're for sale as a news outlet, there's no integrity, and I don't trust you to get my news from you. I don't trust you. So that's how I feel.
I agree. I'm looking forward to seeing what Miss Joy-Ann Reid builds off of her YouTube channel, her podcast.
Yes, girl. We following you.
Yes. And just like so much, there have been people coming out of the woodworks coming up for her, because she's not the only person who was let go, whose show was let go. There was also other folks, other non-Black folks, who are also not white, who were let go. And it's crazy. Like, it's just really interesting to see. But I want to do another additional kind of like shout out to Rachel Maddow, who she used her platform, because her show is not gone, did not get canceled.
Yes, let's hope they don't also cancel that, because Rachel Maddow is a voice with a similar tune.
Yes. And it's she's very much an ally, and she proved that by speaking out for these folks. And she specifically quotably said that the decision was indefensible, saying that, it's just not the time to be removing these types of voices.
I mean, it's pandering. We all see that. Everyone clamoring to pander to, I guess, where the money is, which is sad, because it won't be for long, because we will not be supporting these types of programs or these brands or whatever. I know another focus is focusing on, where am I putting my money? Not just my attention, not just my energy, but my money. We work hard for our money. These people are only rich because we are shopping and subscribing to whatever it is that they're offering. And if we make our voice heard and honestly show some integrity ourselves and say, look, I don't like what you're doing. I don't like this message. I don't like this energy. So you will not get, like, Target have not set foot in a Target in dang near all of 2025. The end of 2024 was kind of unintentional.
Right.
Like, I don't want to go to Target. But then you hear what you hear and you're like, yeah, I'm good.
Like, why am I supporting this?
Why would I support you when you don't support me
or
my community?
Literally.
We're good, babe. You must be good on money then, right?
Right, exactly. And also a reminder that your time is also your biggest commodity.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, where you spend time, even just like Tasha's been saying, your focus, that does equal money. Like, these platforms that billionaires own, like social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook, Meta specifically,
YouTube channels, websites, all of that. It's clicks, it's metrics, it's what they're measuring by, and it's what a lot of, ad revenue and all these things, it literally, like Tay said, it equals money. And it is our power. We do not have to support this stuff because they're not supporting us. So
the more eyeballs that they can keep, the more time that you spend on the apps, the more money that they make. So it's just, something to consider. Very special shout out to Joy-Ann Reid. Much love on your journey. I'm excited to see what's next. Because F those guys.
F those guys. Do not, a saying that I've been, I'm trying to remember who said it, but it was just, don't let the bastards get you down.
Oof. Yeah.
Don't let them. They're bastards. Don't let them get you down. They're already down. Don't let them drag you down. So that will transition us to our three realists. And this one, in the vein of not letting these bastards get us down, our three realists is the three realist things we do to make our lives more whimsical.
Whimsy.
A little fun.
Yes.
A little goofy, a little silly,
I love that.
Tay, you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. So first thing on my list is I like to put on glitter. So
glitter. Yes.
I'm a glitter girl. Special shout out to was it Fenty Diamond Bond?
Yes, girl. Oh my God.
That is
I always say I need to get one, and then I don't.
It's so good.
I need to.
It's so good. I currently have the rosé one that I use because it's more like it's pinky, like,
it's like
pink.
shimmery pink, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the one that is really that I want to get is I think it's just diamond, like the original one.
The original, yeah, just like shimmer.
Now, yes,
glitter, like original OG glitter color,
OG
silver, whatever
glitter. That thing has you looking like Edward Cullen, honey. Like you're just
real pretty.
Yes. So yeah, glitter me. Make me feel like a fairy princess, you know? So that. Every day, a little bit of glitter. Even if I don't have any makeup on, let me just glitter myself real quick.
Love.
Whimsy. Okay, my second thing is, all right, so I live really close to a park, and I feel like for the most part, well, we're in Sacramento. Sacramento's the city of trees. You're always going to, for the most part, be by a tree.
Oh, yeah. And if not, dang.
Right, exactly.
I feel like if you're a Sacramentan and you get to a neighborhood that doesn't have trees, we always notice. Me and my husband, every
they did
time
that on purpose.
Be like, oh, there's like no trees here.
Right. They do it on purpose to keep them down.
I don't know.
They don't want them to have any whimsy in their life.
Okay.
But anytime I walk by a tree, if I'm like walking my dog or just going on a little self-care walk, if there's like a branch that's kind of low and in my way, I'll like put my hand up, I'll touch the leaf like a little hand, and I'll say, excuse me. And I'll just move it out the way. Yes. And then sometimes I'll even stay there for a moment, like just stand there and I'll like rub the leaf or something, like, you know, just give it my attention, like, hello. You know,
I know you can hear me.
I know you can hear me. I know me talking to you will help you grow big and strong, even though you don't need my help.
Right.
You're already amazing.
But take some energy anyway.
Exactly.
I love that.
I'm in your way.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm literally, you've been here forever.
I'm
literally a baby.
Right.
Compared to you.
I'm probably younger than that crack in the cement. Like that your strong roots have like lifted up. So excuse me.
Right.
And then my last one is using accent lighting. So like string lights or like colorful bulbs, or we have a lava lamp, like using that light, relying on that light more often than non-lights.
Me, I am such a like little light person. Big light is like, please no. It's too bright.
It's too much. Yeah. This is assaulting me. I need colorful whimsy.
Yeah.
You know?
Colorful whimsy. I love that.
So yeah, so those are my 3 whimsical things.
I love all of them. I love that.
What about you? What are the 3 realest things?
Okay, so joy? My first one, I randomly talk to my husband in like different accents.
Yeah.
And then and then I randomly improv scenes with him as well. So it'll just be like, I'll just walk in and be like, why would you say that? And then just like, and he'll usually go with it unless he's like, I'm not in the mood. But
I'm over it right now.
But sometimes I will just like start a whole scene and he'll like improv like, well, I told you not to say that to me. You started the whole thing. And now we're in a whole improv scene and then we just stop and then be like, anyway, what do you want for dinner? It's That's fun. So good. It keeps things interesting. And it's just like, you know, I'm an actor, so I'm always trying to like, oh, if I just watched a movie and I seen a scene and somebody say like, how could you? And I'm like, I'm watching it by myself. I'm like, dang, I want to say that to somebody.
So nobody.
I have somebody. Yep. How could you? And he's like, what?
Well, let me go with this. I had to. I had no other choice.
Or sometimes I'm too good, and he'll be like, what? And I'll be like, oh, I'm just anyway, a movie. Anyway, what are you doing?
Thanks for that, because that lets me know that I could probably land a role with this, with the energy I just gave you.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, I convinced you.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, it's a game I like to play with him, and it's very fun. I don't know how fun it is for him, but it's fun for me.
It's very on brand. Very on brand. I'm here for that.
Another one is my dogs have a room. It's like my office / dog's room, and when I have to put them in there, like they're in there right now because we're recording at my house and we don't want them click-clacking around on the hardwood floors. When I let them out, I sing that song, who let the dogs out? And then I say, me, who let the dogs out? Me. And then I always laugh because it's always funny. Like,
yes.
And then that's it.
That's just one of those jokes that's just for me.
Oh, it's funny for me. I love it. I enjoy it. I'm like, I'm gonna sing this. I did it one time randomly and I was like, I'm gonna do this every time I do this because I used to love that song when I was a kid. Loved that song. Do you remember it was on like
Rugrats?
It would come on the Nickelodeon randomly between little shows.
Oh yeah,
you'd be just dancing like, hey,
the little music video.
Talking about ugly girls at the club. That's the message of the song, which is crazy.
That is,
and I'm like, you should have kept it at dogs,
right?
Because that was a hit. That was a hit. The kids, that was our Baby Shark, dang near.
Hey, truthfully,
yeah,
that went triple platinum in my house. Like, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
Come on now.
Oh my god, love that song.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my letting my dogs out.
Yeah, no, that's so good. I love that.
And then the last one is I give like a bunch of stuff little nicknames. Like for example, one in my household is the shower. If my husband and I are gonna get in the shower, we'll say like, I'm about to get in the shinny. Hop in the shinny. It means shower.
I love that.
Shorter than saying shower? No.
It's more fun.
But it's just like cuter.
Yeah, the shinny. Where'd you guys come up with that one?
I've been saying it since I don't even know. Since I don't even know. I don't know when I started saying this. I might have been a kid or something. And then I would say it. And I remember the first time I said it to Dale, he was like, what? And I was like, oh, the shower.
The shower.
That's just what I'd be saying for the shower sometimes.
Say.
And so now he'll do it.
About to get in the shinny.
Yeah, just got out the shinny. Hop in the shinny. It's just I love that. It's like a whimsical way to say I'm about to get in the shower.
Mm-hmm. No, I like, honestly, there was that trend that was going on for a minute where it's like couples or best friends were sharing their language.
Yeah.
The words that they have.
You develop a language when you talk to someone.
You really do. Yeah. You're like, okay. Like, I feel like something that you say a lot is biddles.
Yeah.
Or like,
biddles.
Little biddles.
Just little biddles, like little snacks. Or like
little biddles.
Yeah, just little light bites.
And so that definitely, like, I definitely have picked that up for sure. Little biddles. Because, and I feel like we say that often. So there's different things like that. 1000% plus one that.
Yeah, I just love it. I'm always, if there's a cute way to say something, I'm going to say it. Like, I remember with COVID, I started calling it the vid before anybody else was calling it the vid. Just for one, I feel like COVID, saying it all out loud at a certain point, it was a little bit scary to say out loud.
It's like Voldemort.
It was like
you must not be named.
Must not be uttered here because lest you put particles out.
Exactly.
So I would say the vid, like, ooh, you think it's the vid?
The vid,
babe. Do you think I got the vid?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. Anyway, other people ended up saying it, but yeah, I was definitely. I'm giving it.
You're a trailblazer.
Yeah, one of my favorite basketball players on the Celtics, who like the Celtics, is Jason Tatum, obviously, and I call him J-Tay.
J-Tay.
I haven't heard anyone else call him that.
I haven't either. So that's okay.
But that's like, I'm like, it's so cute. His name is Jason Tatum. J-Tay.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
I wonder how many people like in his immediate circle maybe call him that.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Or even just fans, right. Millions of people that like the Celtics and him or whatever. So I do wonder how many other people. If you're a Jason Tatum fan, do you call him J-Tay? Have you ever thought of that?
Let us know.
Do you hate it? Do you like it? I don't know. How do you feel?
Should we make it a thing?
I love it though. If I were to like go to the Celtics game, make a sign, I'd be like, hey, J-Tay.
Hey.
That would be mine. And then put number 0 so he knows. Like,
there you go.
Obviously, we're talking to you.
Now you have to do it.
That will transition us to our weekly reel. And this one is a real topic. And Tay and I have talked about this off podcast. And I feel like the first time we had that conversation, it was last year, and I feel like it's even more relevant this year, which is the social media renaissance. Things are changing. Social media, as it began, obviously is not here, but even in its like heyday, which I would say is like 2019 to like 2023. That was a really like influential time. Influencer was a whole job. It was very lucrative, and it was something that I feel that was taken a little more seriously by the influencers than it is now. It wasn't just branded content, ads trying to sell you something. It was actual content, which like the word content's it's loosely, put out here. It's not as valuable as it used to be, like we said.
For sure.
So yeah, I feel like we definitely talked about that. Just feeling like there was more trust. You felt like the content coming out offered this value of either it's teaching you something or you're feeling like you're getting to know the person. They're giving you a lot of stories. The storytelling used to be so good. Remember the story time? I'm going to tell you guys about the time this crazy thing happened to me. And it was more engaging. Whereas I feel now with not only just ads, but the AI influencers now, there's a lot of artificial.
They're like, chat with somebody who's fake, who we modeled after someone who's real.
Like, what? Why don't I just want to talk to my friend?
No, you're hitting the nail on the head. Like, as somebody who works in social as well, like, and has, oh my gosh, my clients are constantly asking us, like, what should we prepare for? How should we move in this current state of social, especially, oh my God, when the whole TikTok was being shut down? What are our next steps? How should we prepare? What type of content should we put out to let people know where to find us if they found us through TikTok? Like, it's been a whole thing. And what like is being noticed right now is, just like you said, people are having less trust with platforms. People are really yearning for human connection. And more so, like, even if it is online, they're looking for community. So people aren't really like, although you might still see comments and stuff, of course, the percentage of how many people are leaving comments is going down massively. So people aren't really, they're more so consuming and not so interacting so much. And so folks are looking for spaces where, if they're going to be online, they want to be able to talk to others. So they're having most of their conversations in DMs, or having more conversations like in conversation-based group platforms like Discord, or like, Twitch and things like that. It's really shifting, because people are like, we want to see people. We want authenticity. We do not want to continue giving all of our time and effort to these billionaires and these bots and this AI
brands, like, corporate. Again, it's funny that you mentioned that about the percentage of comments being left, because that's one of my favorite things to do on social media, is like the first thing, you're like, you see something and maybe it's funny, maybe it's crazy, maybe it's bad news, maybe it's good news, and you go to the comments because you're like, what are people saying about this? And when you go and it's like, nice try Diddy, and it's like thousands of that, and you're like, what is this?
What is going on?
Is this a bunch of people doing this? Are these bots? Like, why? Or it'll be like a bunch of the same comment. Or sometimes, I don't know if this is like an Instagram thing, or maybe it is because I always see it'll be like, okay, a post 943 comments, and so you're like, oh, heck of comments, let me see what they're saying. And then you scroll and you read like 10 or 12 of them, and then you keep scrolling and it scrolls those same 10 or 12 comments back. And you're like, why can't I see all 943 of these comments? What's going on? And you hit load and it's just the same ones, and I'm like, I wonder what that is about. Is that you only want to show me these? Do you not want to show me all the comments? Is it a glitch? Is it inflating the comment numbers and then not having the actual comments to show for it? It feels inorganic. It feels artificial. And again, it's not trustworthy. It makes you not trust it. I know I'll immediately scroll off and then be like, maybe I want to get off.
Yeah.
Because is this even what I thought it was?
True.
And it's so funny because we've come so far from what Instagram started as. It started as just only grid, only photos, only the square. It was not rectangle.
Mainly photographers using it.
And I remember when they got the carousel option, it used to just be one picture at a time, one caption, and people could comment.
Super.
There was no
simple
DMs
interface.
at first. I remember they added DMs later, and it was just very simple. And it was just a time of, I think it's what Be Real is trying to be. But it was really, I guess Be Real, it's like more in the moment. Time to be real, just take it. And I feel like Instagram was like, your breakfast, take a picture of it, and nothing was curated. It was really, you might slap a filter on afterwards, but the moment is very like, ooh, point, shoot, boom, make it look cute. Hey guys, this is this, it's so yummy.
And that's it.
And people would immediately be like, wow, that's good.
Literally.
I always get those. Yeah, I love those muffins. Wow, where are you at? Some of your friend might hit you up and be like, girl, text me. Like, it was very much social. And now it's like, you're totally right with the whole social aspect of like, where can I go to talk to people?
And that's why we're kind of seeing this like bits of what you were just talking about coming back, like people wanting the not so curated look. That's why TikTok got so big, because people were having normal conversations. It's not like you open the comments and it's so much hate and like anger and stuff like
one
that.
side of one conversation. You mentioned a few episodes ago about like seeing the it's like women hating men content or the men hating women, and it's like you're only seeing this and not the actual, because again, while that does exist, there's also men who love women and women who love men and happy couples and not just drama. And I do feel like there is something to that algorithm that really wants to only show us this.
Yeah.
Whereas I think as humans, that's not a normal life, because a normal life, you know, unless you are someone who lives in a bubble and, you know, I don't know, either choose that or have that type of environment, you encounter all different types of people.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I was just telling my husband, like, that's what I love about like real life. Like you can interact with a person and it's not scary. It's not as scary as like online would have you think. Or
yeah,
you know, they
that's
want
so
us
true.
to like
girls say that.
Feel like if a person that doesn't look like you, maybe they're older, maybe they're the opposite gender, maybe they are a different religion, maybe they dress differently, maybe they have a different style, maybe they're a different race, whatever the case may be, on the different other side of the political spectrum, which now is an extreme thing to say, but you know what I mean? It's like, this person is different. If you even walk by them, it's gonna be drama. And a lot of the time that's not the case. A lot of the time people just we all want the same thing. And I think that's what a lot of this media bombardment wants us to forget, that we are all just people. We're all American people who want the same thing. None of us
We're all living this human experience.
Exactly. Bro. None of us want this country to be destroyed. None of us want that. So at the very least, that's probably maybe the only thing in the political spectrum that we can agree on. Is like, we want this country to be safe. We want it to continue to be a country that's ran by its people. We don't want to see it ruined.
Yeah. And if you spend all your time on one specific platform, especially meta platforms now, like Facebook and Instagram, you'll be convinced that everyone is terrible, or that, like, you know, you won't really come across a whole bunch of conversations like this, or you'll think that the whole world or the whole nation thinks one type of way when you step outside and you say hi to a neighbor and a neighbor is like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, so it's just,
or when you talk to a stranger at a coffee shop and it's like, man, stuff is kind of crazy. I know.
Yeah.
Like, even just that, I've had those little mini interactions with people, and even that is just like, oh my God, it puts me at ease that like I'm not the only person that feels like, what's going on?
Literally. No, I was teaching yoga the other day, and it was like, I mean, I was gonna say it was a crazy news week, but honestly, when has it not been a crazy news week recently?
It's gonna be a crazy news decade. I don't know.
Literally. And so I was like, you know, I was feeling overwhelmed, and I went into class, and at the beginning of class, I usually will say a little blurb of like upcoming things happening in the studio. But I ended up taking a moment to be like, you know, I know this week has been a lot for probably a lot of us, and has probably felt like a really long week. And it was a more busy class. I would say it's probably about like almost 20 people, and everybody in the class I saw either nod their head or be like, ooh, yeah, something.
Girl,
it's been heavy on a lot of us. So.
And I love that people are doing that. Like, I love to hear that your class was so full, because that's exactly what we need to be doing. We need to get on the mat. We need to get, if you like running, if you like walking, if you like dancing, get in your body, move it, do something, whatever it is, skate, jump rope, whatever you need to do to get in your body, to move your body, to keep yourself healthy, to get that out. I know recently, actually, last week, Wednesdays are usually my, like, I'm gonna run long distance. I run 6 miles on Wednesdays, and girl, I almost didn't, and then looked at the news and was like, you know what? There was so much tension in my body, so much like energy that I was like, this is energy that I want to not keep in my body. It's energy that I don't like. It's energy that's stressful and anxious, and I really want to do something constructive with it. And so I was like, you know what, I am gonna run. And that's why I did end up running. My goal was 6. I ran 6.6 miles.
That is a flex.
A half mile more than I wanted to. And I was like, you know what, because it was like, I don't have an Apple Watch, so I track my mileage on my phone, on the app on my phone, and so I have to like go in my fanny pack and get my phone to look at the thing. And the last time I had checked it, it said like 4.8, and then I ran like a lap of the little neighborhood weave that I do, and it said that, and I was like, okay, I'll run one more, but the lap is pretty long, and so I was like, I bet you this is gonna be more,
a little over.
And then I was like, should I check? And I was like, nah. I was like midway done with the lap. I was like, just finish the lap because you gotta go home anyway. The lap ends in front of my house, so I'm like, okay, yeah. So I do that. I check it, 6.6. I'm like, damn.
Hey, but I damn near 7.
I felt so much better after that too. I like gave all that energy. Just I used it. I used it, and I moved my body. And running makes me feel so powerful. So it's one of those things that's like, when life feels cray, and I feel like I can't move, I need to run.
Yeah, I mean, running, moving, breathing, deep breathing, like
walking, laying on the ground,
literally prayer, whatever you go to move the energy, writing, definitely a time to do that,
and prioritize
creating something amazing. Like, because honestly, going back to the social media piece, as a social media strategist and a creative producer who's been in this industry for 8 years, I will say this: social media, please start using social media as your storefront. It's just as the tip of your funnel, right? Be prepared to have something else to offer the people, either in real life or in a community space, whether that be online or in person, because it's just the tip of the iceberg, right? It's just a piece, especially if you need to stay on Meta platforms, if you're choosing to go to LinkedIn, wherever you are, right? Use it as that opening door to come into a longer piece of content or a in-person offering, whatever it is that you do. Like, social is not the one-stop shop. Like, the focus right now, the state of social that we're in, is that owning your audience, you know what I mean? Like, collecting those emails, getting those names and people together, and really just building your community. Building your community, people who are going to grow with you together, real relationships. That's what it is. That's the theme of social right now, is real relationships.
I think there's a lot of truth coming out about, for me, something that really made me think, wow, differently, is a big cash cow, especially for like YouTube, is these family and children content creators where people are having their kids. I know one of the kids, he did like toy unboxing videos, and he was the highest paid YouTuber for hecka long. He was making millions of dollars for his family. And I've read 2 different articles where either it's the kid grown up saying like, this was work for me and it was hard work, and sadly I don't have the money to show for all that work.
Yikes.
Another one that I read where the child wanted to say or stay anonymous, so she went by the name of Claire in this article, and she just talked about how she had no protections. Like, there's really no regulations on if your parent uses you as a child influencer and they keep and spend all your money, and now you're an adult yourself and you want to go to college or you're ready to move out, there's no money for you. This is actually their money, and they just kind of exploited you. Which I'm sorry, however that sounds, but you're exploiting your child if their labor funds a lifestyle. Because this girl said that she had one video where she was a toddler that went viral, and it got so viral that her parents capitalized on it. They both quit their jobs. They were able to afford like a mansion. She was like, the lifestyle totally changed. And then when she would say that she didn't want to like do it, like, you know how kids, I mean, come on now, what kid wants to constantly be doing stuff? We've all tried to take a picture of a kid and been like, oh no, okay. not gonna happen. Okay. They don't want to do it. But yeah, in those times, her parents would remind her, like, well, do you want to still live in this nice house? Mommy and daddy are going to have to go back to work if you don't want to do it. So do you want us to go back to work and we lose our house? And, what about your brothers and sisters? Like, don't you want to? And then
supreme manipulation.
Manipulate you into do that. And, it was something that this person talks about, just being resentful of having to work their entire childhood. And then that pressure of like, I'm taking care of the entire family and I'm 8. What the hell?
Like, that's true. I mean, I do get that. It's weird because it's like, there's been like baby models, like remember the little Gerber babies and all that. And like, kid stars and all that. So it's been a thing. I think now it's, it's social media is a whole different beast
It
these
really
days.
is.
But
The laws have not caught up. I feel
ugh,
like the
it's
laws just
oof.
barely caught up to what you were talking about.
Exactly.
The child models and the child actors. I feel like the law's barely catching up there as far as protections for kids and, in the business and things like that. But with the influencer thing is like, it's nuts because I don't know, but you link your bank account to your YouTube and the money goes in there. So, at least with the child stars, they're issuing the check and they're writing usually, at least I think, the kid's name is in the contracts. Like there's a lot of, this is your kid's money. Yes. And so I think that's a branch to it legally, where it's like, okay, allow kids to be able to work and allow the check to be in their name. That way there's a paper trail of like, this was actually their money, versus the YouTube channel is like, well, the money went directly into my account, so technically this is my money.
And they're minors.
And there is no contract you have to sign. Yeah, they're minors. I mean, like, they don't know what's happening.
Right. So it's really, like, that sucks though, because like I can see if I was a parent of a child influencer, I don't know. Sorry.
I just could not imagine exposing my child that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm like, okay, because I was more so thinking like, if I'm a parent of a child actor, you know what I mean?
Or what about like a family influencer? Because I feel like that's a different version.
That's a different version.
It's like there's the child influencer, and like the whole thing is about the kid. Your whole content, even if you're in the video, it's really about no one's gonna watch it if it's just you. It's really this kid's thing. And then there are some people who have their entire family. Like, I don't know if you know who Queen Naja is.
Yeah,
that's like how she got famous, is by like she did do music, but then she ended up doing, like, she has a YouTube channel with, I think maybe still or maybe not, with her and her child's father, and I think she has 2 kids, and so they did that, and it helped her with her career. But even that, we're seeing that there's drama where, again, you're pretty much changing these dynamics. Something that Claire said about her dad, and she remembers her dad when she was telling him, oh, this is a lot of pressure, I don't want to do it or whatever, that he would say like, I'm not just your dad, I'm your boss. And those types of things, where we're now like putting family members in roles other than family, because like, at what point do you take off the boss hat and put your dad hat on? How often is that happening? And if you're making this much money, it might be more lucrative and beneficial to you to be the boss dang near the whole time.
Yeah, it's such an interesting line too, because it's like, if my child is bringing in millions of dollars, like, yes, our lifestyle is going to change.
Obviously,
our lifestyle is going to change,
and it's for them.
It's for them. But like, at the same time, I also want my child to have a good life. So I don't want to like continue to pressure you to continue on, even if you don't want to. Like, it's like, okay, I need to move smart with the money that's coming in when you do want to, while you want to.
Yeah, because I'm the adult, or at the very least, because I think there's a lot of child influencers and of course child actors that's like, okay, now that I'm an adult, I'm looking like, okay, now that I'm old enough, I want to buy a car, where's the money? And it's like, oh, we don't have money for you to get
like,
a car.
What
and
are you talking
where'd the
about?
money go? You spent all the money. So I feel like if I'm gonna do the family, I would never do the child influencer, but if I were to do the family influencer, which I obviously I don't think I would do that, but if I were to do that, it would be something where, okay, my child is definitely a part of this, they're benefiting from it, and even if they weren't, I want to put some money away for them so that they have something. And so maybe I don't buy the mansion. Maybe I just buy a really nice house. Or maybe I'll upgrade the house we live in currently.
Right.
And just kind of invest my money. And I need to pay myself a set amount. And that's for me.
Yep. As live your manager or whatever.
Yeah, I'm taking my little 10% or whatever you want to call it, for living expenses. You know what I mean? I'll take my little 10%. I'll do, again, groceries, all that stuff, plus, and then I wouldn't quit my job. I would, or maybe I would quit my job, but I would also try to build something more outside of this.
Yes, like you're not gonna have to work as an influencer this whole time, right? Like, after however long, like, I'm making our couple year plan, like maybe in 2 years of you doing this, we'll be able to move on, because now we're selling stuff, so we don't have to freaking work you like a dog.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't
leveraged it, not we ate off you,
right? We expand, we use this as a business opportunity. Yeah, like, you do your little work while you still find it fun. Like, it reminds me of Will and Jada and Willow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
With her music,
with her whip, she said, no, I'm done, I'm good.
And they were like, all right.
they were like, you're on the precipice. You're almost like a big star. She could have been way bigger. You could be way. And she was like, I'm not having fun with it. And they chose to listen to her.
And she came back to it.
And she came back to it. Just and made her own lane. And I love her music. I'm such a fan.
Me too.
Sidebar. But I just feel like a lot of the influencer parents, or maybe not say a lot, but some of these influencer parents aren't moving like that. They're not giving their child autonomy.
Yeah. And I mean, I know there's like a difference between being Will and Jada and being William and Jasmine. Like we both said Jasmine. Like that's different, right? Yeah. It's a different experience. But again, like we mentioned, it's like you can't spend all the money. Like obviously your baby has to eat, and if it's lucrative, yeah, but I totally agree with what you just said. Whereas when you're done, I feel like we're done. Or maybe it's like if we do a video and my kid is fighting me the whole way, I'm like, all right, this is the last one. I'm not gonna do this again, because you might want to get the one done. Yeah, so I feel that. But then afterwards, you're like, God, that my kid does not like that. And if the next time we go to do it, you're not like, yay, you're like, no. It's like, okay, well, maybe you're right, because now I feel like a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, I think what needs to happen in this space, because brands, corporations are like influencers for a long time have been their bread and butter in this new digital era that we live in. I do think that landscape is shifting a little bit as well, but I want to say that there has to be, before it can really take on its final form or whatever, its next form, I think there has to be, as you mentioned, more guidelines in place to protect these kids, you know, because right now people become influencers or family influencers off of, as you mentioned, a viral video or a viral set of videos, or their kid is so damn cute, so everybody keeps coming back, and they get thrown into being entrepreneurs, thrown into being business owners. You know what I mean? Like they're not just content creators. You run a business now, whether you like it or not.
All this money, here it goes. And I'm glad that the money is there, because you should get the money. People are looking at your kid all this time. You should get all that money, and then put it away for your kid, or at least some of it. But I totally agree that it's like you're like slung into something you're just not ready for.
You're not, and a lot of these people are not financially literate. You know what I mean? Like have no idea what it means, maybe have never seen
this much money
before. So it's like, of course I'm going to work my child for every little ha he box opening until their fingers bleed. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to struggle how I did, and because we have this going on,
and it just fell in our lap,
and it just fell in all you got to do is unbox some toys. You better unbox them toys. Like I don't care if you want to do it or not. Another million, thank you.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
That part.
You gonna cry into these millions in therapy when you're 21.
At least we got the money for therapy. You got the family budget set aside, honey, because I know you're gonna need it. We got college, therapy, backpacking in Africa. We got all of it. What you want to do? I know you're gonna need it, baby.
For sure, and you're gonna need it. That's for the parents who who got to keep money, who kept money in rotation, but the kids are like sad and depressed and shit. Like that sucks. But what about the kids who are sad and depressed and they ain't got no money left?
They ain't got no money. Ooh.
Come on.
Now you gotta start over.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, do you think that family influencers are an ethical thing?
I don't think it's ethical. Honestly, just doing the research for specifically the child influencers, it's not. I don't think there's an ethical way to do it, unless it is. I feel like the family way is a little more ethical, because then it's not so much about the kid. I mean, you still, I don't know. And everyone's participating, so it doesn't make it. But I do feel like it's exploiting yourself, your family. And like you said, I think it's unhealthy for families. Like I would say, I mean, I know you've thought about it too, and we've seen the drama with even just couples. Yeah. And it's a lot of drama, because I feel like there's always that breakup, and you don't know where to draw that line of like, you know, what do we do?
And then they make that announcement breakup video.
Yes. And it's just, and then they're getting too deep, and you're telling us, like, I've seen that stuff and you're like, oh gosh, you didn't have to tell them. Y'all got everything on you. Or like a couple and then they go live and the vibe live is way different than the vibe in the like in the reels or the YouTube video. You're like, oh, this is the unedited, y'all. Yikes. It is toxic.
And then these kids are having to have their whole, okay, so you know how in child actors, they're like, I grew up behind the camera, but you were playing a character. These children are growing up behind the camera, their real life. That's their real life. And now people, they have millions of subscribers or whatever, and they feel, even if it's just thousands, they feel entitled to know your life, entitled to know everything about you now, even when you don't want to. And as a child, you have no choice. Your family or your parents are like, you're doing this. And so you don't even get a say in if you want your life to be broadcast this way. Like, even as a family, if you're family influencers, your kids didn't sign up for that. A lot of the times they're even too little to ask for consent.
Yep. I think absolutely.
And understand what that means.
Consent for a reason. There's a reason why like 18 is usually the adult age. And it sucks because I do think, again, you're a parent. If you do post a random video of your son kicking a ball and it's just the best kick ever or the worst kick ever and it's funny and it's cute and people love it and it gets a lot of, like you said, a lot of traction, a lot of money, it is hard to like, because that temptation would definitely be there for me. I'm thinking if that just happened, like, oh wow, he went viral for that kick. That's crazy.
You can start showing him playing soccer. And
it's like, well, hey, maybe I might as well maybe post him a little more if he wants to. But I think for me, it would have to be like organic and authentic. It wouldn't. I couldn't put my kid through, I don't know, the forcing, like making you work. I feel like you shouldn't have a job when you're, I don't know, 15 or younger. Like you don't need to be working. I mean, if you, again, as you get older, you want to work, okay. But like, depending on my 8-year-old to pay for my mansion is a lot of, like, that is a lot. Like, pay for the house is like, that's a lot. Yeah. But the mansion, because the property tax and the maintenance and all this stuff, like, the bills are high when your house is that big.
Yeah, for that money to all of a sudden stop coming is going to be like, okay, that can't happen.
And so then, of course, you get to the point of like, nah, we got to do this. And I'm like, ugh. And I wouldn't even want to put that pressure on myself as an influencer, because that's the pressure that adult influencers, that's what you sign up for. Of like, if you just have like I don't feel like doing this, that's like, I don't know. I don't want to get paid. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a lot to tie things to. And I think, when you put something like your marriage or your relationship with your child and you stake that on a social media channel, that's a lot to put at stake for this social media channel, or even for money. I feel like it's a lot to put at stake. Like, that's like double the stress. You have the stress of like, I need to do this. We need content, right? And that's its own thing. It's a job.
Oh yeah, it's a job,
which is why you do get paid for it. But then to have the like, it's not just it's like me and you and your man. Y'all have to do it. They want to see us. And it's just like, at what point is it just us? It's never just us. It's always,
and I think everybody. That too, I want to say that too. That's a very good point, because there are certain family influencers that like focus on a specific thing. Like let's use the soccer example. They only do soccer stuff. And then there's family influencers that like vlog their whole life, like their every single day, what Timmy's do. Like, it's like playlists on YouTube, what Timmy does, what Bobby does, what mom does, what dad does. And you're like, holy moly, y'all don't ever have the camera away. I think that also, like, I feel like that's a little bit more ethically line stepping than like people who are like, okay, we are a soccer family and we only show soccer stuff, and that's it. So y'all are able to have a life outside of soccer stuff, you know, like y'all still have your core unit, your nucleus off of the camera, but then you get to clock in, you know what I mean? You have a specific space that has a specific category for what you do. Clocking into my soccer job, boom. I think that for me helps to make a little bit more sense. in the moral values.
To where it's not like, I'm your mom and also your boss. Yeah. Like, that just sounds like, no.
Like, you can never tell the difference.
You can't tell the difference. And at least with the child acting, it's like, this child is going to work. Mm-hmm. They need to know lines. They're doing something. They like doing it, hopefully. But we know child stars that didn't like doing it and were forced to. So
yeah,
it's like you said, it gets hairy. It does. But I will say that if your child loves soccer and you post their soccer stuff and they like it, then hey. One thing that I've said, we're talking about ethical, I've seen an influx of like parent, mom and dad, like influencers, where instead of showing actual situations with their kids, they'll like reenact a situation with their kids, and it'll be like both the parents act like in little costumes, like they're acting like they're the kid, but it's really just the mom and the dad.
Yes.
Or just one person doing it, where you know there's those series,
playing all the roles.
Playing all the roles. So yeah, I think that's a more ethical way to do it.
Yeah.
But I also read an article about or no, was it an article? It was a movie. It was a movie that I watched where the mom basically did that. She had a newsletter where she would like share things about her daughter or just her life, but she would talk about her family very vulnerably on there. And one of the blog posts she wrote was like, I hate my daughter.
Oh, snap.
Or something like, why my daughter's a bitch. But it was something like that. And her daughter was like 7.
Oh, snap.
And she like, or 12 or whatever. And so she wrote in this vlog and just talked about the struggles that she was having with her daughter. Right. But like, she made that a headline and it like went viral and got put in a bunch of magazines and things. And she was, opening up how, you know what it was? It was one of those, I don't remember the YouTube channel, but it's one of those ones that'll get people together in a studio and be like, stand on the line if you've ever experienced racism. It was like one of those things. And it was a mom and daughters. I should find it and put it in the links because it's a really good episode. I'm gonna send it to you. Okay. Because it really is just like, and they ask questions and it's like, stand over here, and sometimes the mom and daughters are on opposite sides. And so the girl standing opposite her mom, I forget the question, but the answer was like, have you ever hated your mom? I don't know, it was something like that. Yeah. And of course you get to share while you're on that line. And the
other one was like, have you ever hated your child? Ooh, or your daughter or something like that.
I think it was, have you ever hated your mom or your daughter? Just like asking, like, have you guys ever hated each other? And they both
went to the line.
And the mom went to the I didn't hate you side, and the daughter went to I did hate you. And the daughter was like, I hated that you put that article out because it stuck with me. She used her real name, so she was like, a lot of people, when I'm starting to get jobs and meet people in college, now people can. And again, it's her, I think it wasn't a newsletter, it was a vlog. Remember when blogs, yes, when blogs were a thing? So she had a mommy blog. And so
that's also coming back. We're also coming back to our long form content era.
Love blogs. We definitely are. Be on the lookout. But yeah, girl, wrote that whole blog about like, it was again mommy vlog content, but yeah, why my daughter's a bitch. And of course
I'm like, we're gonna need to look that up and read it. Yeah, like, damn.
I think the mom said she since took it down, but I'm sure if you Google it, so it was a real thing, because it was
somebody on Reddit got it
channel. But
like, it's like, I get it, be honest, because I'm sure not every parent thinks their child is the bee's 100% of the time. But why would you use her real name?
Why would you do that?
Why would you put that kind of language out there, like a bitch? And she's like, whatever.
It was like salacious, and I think her blog was pretty successful. So again, capitalism comes in and it turns it up. It puts a different type of pressure and a different type of energy into what you're doing.
It sucks, I guess it's just the woes of being a parent, because it's like, yes, a bunch of people will probably relate to that.
Yeah.
And your blog will, I'm sure, especially if you're already mildly successful, has potential to take the fuck off. And it's your opportunity to be vulnerable and let your feelings out. But at what cost?
At what cost? Because now, and it's like, that's something she probably didn't think about. She was thinking about them dollar signs. She was thinking about, oh my gosh, look how popular it is. Oh my God, so many moms can relate. Because like you said, it's probably relatable.
Right.
When we read the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
It's probably a valid take. And it was probably how you felt at the time. But like now we're thinking 10 years later, and your daughter, or 12 years, whatever later, and now your daughter is old enough to read this and be affected by it. Now it's like, yikes, I wish I wouldn't have put that out there, because now looking at it, 10 years later,
and it's still haunting her. Crazy.
This hurt my daughter. And then of course you having your regrets of like, I could have shared this in a different way. Yeah. It didn't need to be like this.
Yeah, I could have talked to my therapist about this.
I could have said what I said in a totally different way that would have been totally about me and not about her.
Yes.
Claire, the anonymous child star, says that once she doesn't live with her parents anymore, she plans to go non-contact. She can't move out until she's 18, so she's still not 18, so the channel is still up, which is why Claire chose to remain anonymous.
Yeah.
But yeah, she or they say that they plan to speak out publicly about being the star of this YouTube channel and even use her real name and like expose it.
Wow. Good for her.
And then go no contact.
I know that takes a lot of bravery, and you know, I thank her for sharing that story, because I'm sure that is not an easy thing to go through and to experience. But that just goes to show kids grow up to be affected. Like, there are consequences to every action, whether they be good or bad, you know?
And you got to think it through. And I think that's what a lot of people maybe are realizing now, which is why I think the longer form things are wanting to come out, because it's like, I want it to be thoughtful. I want what I'm saying. I don't want it to just be a knee-jerk reaction that I shared. I do want it to be, again, more authentic. So if it's authentic, it's not just reacting to things online. It's actually absorbing them, thinking about them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like back in the day, we were talking about OG Instagram. It was like, OG Instagram ended. You would scroll through and it would be just just the people you follow. So if you only follow 36 people, you're gonna see 36 posts,
and that's it.
If everyone posted, you're gonna see that, and then it's over.
Yep, you're to the end of the line. That's like back in the day, like our parents' age, when the TV used to cut off. Yeah, like, there's no more programming.
It was like, this is all the content.
Now it's white noise.
You have seen everything. You are now scrolling in yesterday. And I do wish that Instagram had that feature. Like, you're caught up for the day.
Yeah,
you've caught up for the day, but there's no end in sight, and it's just very like,
it's 24/7.
It's 24/7 nonstop. And then the For You page is, I think, where it all went.
Went downhill. Yeah, it's I think there are good ways to go about it. Like, there's an influencer guy I follow named Kier Gaines. Do you know him?
I think I heard that name, but I don't know.
He's Black man. He talks a lot about like family dynamics. He's also a therapist.
Okay.
Yeah, and him and his wife, they'll come on and they'll talk about like struggles that they may be facing in their marriage, or like the first real serious hardships that they had to get over. And they'll feature their daughters, but they won't show their faces. And sometimes they'll share little clips of conversations. Their kids are pretty young, so sometimes they'll share like little clips of conversations they're having in terms of like not a dispute, because they're a little too young to have like disputes, but when kids just have big feelings and then they just crash out and come back.
Yeah.
And so they'll have little clips of those moments where he's like, talking her through something or whatever. And it won't be a super, super long clip. It'll be just enough to really get the meat and potatoes of it. And it's like, okay, like I think that the channel is mainly about him and like sometimes his wife and a few little excerpts of their kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if I were a family influencer, I like the way that is, because it's more so about the parents, their relationship, how they work through their things with little tidbits of their kids, no face, no case, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I appreciate that too. Yeah, that sounds more ethical.
I feel
like it's still like
tiptoey.
It's still a little wiretappy. When you were saying like it's clips of no faces, everything's, it's like, this is like
no faces,
an exchange but you do hear with the police. I don't know, what is this?
And then also sometimes I'd be thinking like, okay, you're having this real heartfelt moment and you're like, record.
Okay.
And you put the
I'm like imagining that in real life. Like, no, I'm sorry. I that part I don't think
we just live in interesting times, man. People are like, they're trying to build community by any way necessarily. Like, do I need to wiretap my children, my kids' conversation in order to give y'all this knowledge?
Oh my God.
To form this community so y'all know that I'm real?
Please no.
It's like people are going to these extreme lengths, and like I understand because we are in extreme times, but sometimes, you know, it does get a little stepping on the line of ethical, you know?
Yeah, or stepping on the line of ethical, and then stepping on the line of like, again, is this authentic? How can this be authentic? Like you just explained, we're having an authentic moment, and I pull out the voice recorder.
What? Yeah.
Can you imagine your mom doing that right now? Like if you and your mom, you're having a like, I'm talking to my mom about the situation, and she actually helped me. I was upset, and she brought me back down, and she's telling you stuff, and then you look down and her phone is recording.
I'd be like,
what are you gonna do with this audio? What are you gonna do with this audio? Like what?
On TikTok?
Is this for a book you're writing? I hope so, because I hope you're not posting this.
I'm like, ooh, I didn't know that we were on.
Okay, like I didn't know we were. What? I didn't know Meta was. I didn't know Big Brother was
right
in on this conversation. And then I would feel like, how authentic is what you're saying, because you're recording this. Like, how much is this for you want to sound good,
right?
And how much of is it actually
for me
a real thing that you're talking to me?
True. Because
that now the whole situation is not under attack, but when you were telling that to me, that's what I was thinking. Like, he wiretaps the encouraging convos with his son. Is it a situation? Like, are you talking like that when the camcorder or the voice recorder or whatever is not there?
Yeah.
Is this a whole time thing? And that's where I feel like, I don't know.
What is it called when like when you're like, is this off book or whatever?
Off the record?
Off the record. Every time I see you now, I gotta be like, is this off the record?
Or just say, this is off the record.
This is off
just because you're already recording some fucking where. You got your Alexa listening to all combos in this motherfucker. Like,
let it be known,
this is off the record.
This is off the record.
Legal action will be taken if it's heard anywhere on any of your channels. Anyway,
okay,
girl,
now
let me tell you the tea.
Literally. See, okay, that is
it's too much.
And your 4-year-old can't say off the record, Dad.
Exactly.
Can we have this?
Can we not record right now?
Can we not?
And then if they do say it, you can just edit that out.
Yeah.
Can we not? This is like, actually we do. Come on, I'm gonna record it because people want to hear this. Anyway, okay, we're gonna edit that out. So, baby, remember what we do. Breathe, right? And it's like you just had to create this whole scene.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyway. It's
the authenticity.
It's not the authenticity. It's okay.
A curated moment now.
You know, I think when it comes to featuring your children, there's really hard ways to really get that done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and stay in the ethical bounds. I feel like, shout out to Kiera Gaines. I still fuck with you, but I think you just have to get real, like, kind of weirdly creative.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, because I think he is getting creative, and I do like what you said about how, like, because at a certain level you do have a right to that story, because it is your story. You're the parent. These are your kids. You're raising them, so it is very much your story.
Yeah.
And so I think draw the line there is what I would do.
Yeah.
Is just be like, how much of this is their story and my story? I don't have a right to share their story, but I do have a right to share mine, which is why I like what you said, where it's like, it's mostly him. And if it's about him, like, if you are going to share this clip of like, here's what I said to my daughter, because y'all, I had to go over here. I had to process my emotions this way, and just to even try to deal with my baby. I'm not going to give you too much of what they were going through, because again, that's not my story. This is their story, and I can't even really speak to that. But I can speak to, this is what happened. Here's how I reacted. Here's what I had to do to get to the right place that I wanted to get to be intentional with my kid. And then I said this little thing. I said a lot more, but this is the only clip I had. Oh, don't ask me why I have that clip. But
you know, right? Because I'm like, if you're an influencer person,
I'm like,
then maybe you're
just no clips. Maybe no clips.
I'm like, if you're an influencer, maybe you're already recording, and all of a sudden, especially with little kids running around, maybe it's like they done came into your thing, like how the dog came in.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. And then you just happen to capture some audio from the combo.
Right.
It's like, okay, I get it. There's ways.
That.
There's ways. But then it's like posting it though.
And that's what I feel like. It's like, and I think maybe a lot of people feel like this. Like, I don't have a problem seeing child influencers.
Yeah.
But for me, the problem is when you're thinking about like someone that doing that. Like, if you were to do that, I would be like, girl, are you sure you want to
Yeah, you know, there's weirdos out there.
Things get cray.
Things get cray. I mean, you know, clearly this is a conversation. This is us.
This
right?
is definitely us. All
opinions.
opinion, as always.
And right, exactly. We're not therapists. We just have them. So like, you know, but it's very interesting. I'd be curious to know what y'all think. I'm sure we have some aspiring, you know, influencers in our midst. So I would love to hear what y'all.
Yeah. Do you think you can have an influencer relationship, friendship, relationship, family relationship, and still keep that same bond, that same connection, and keep the relationship authentic, because you don't want it to just be curated moments and camera in your face at all times, because that's a lot.
It's a lot. I feel like even like for you and I, because I know we do this. Yeah, we do this show together, and it does require, especially in this next level we're taking it, is going to require a bigger commitment. You know, showing up for our community, showing up online in different spaces and in new ways. But I think something that we've kind of established is like, we have time where we're like, all right, this is friend time.
Right.
And then this is how to be real time.
Exactly. We schedule the time and make it. So I just feel like if we were to just be like, why don't we just always have a camera every time we hang out? We should. I feel like it would start to feel disingenuous, and it would feel like,
on the record.
Are we on the record. Is it ever just us? Like, girl, dang, I was trying to talk to you about how I was feeling. I'm not trying to, like, I don't want this to be content. I'm not trying to be cute.
For real.
I look good. Like, what? At what point do we say, damn? And then for me, a wiretap would be crazy. Like, if you posted like, my friend was struggling with self-image the other day, and this is what I told her, and you actually played a damn clip from the conversation.
I'm like, Tasha, it wasn't you. It was just me talking, and you're not even in the video.
Why were you recording that whole time? So is this why you said that? So you said that because you knew you was going to post. You just had content. You didn't even care.
You had ulterior motives.
I don't even believe that. Am I really great? Did I really manifest whatever I wanted? Was you just trying to be cute and clickable?
Like, damn.
Dang, friend.
Like, even
I would question it for sure.
Even if I wasn't tagged, even if I didn't get, you know, shown in the video, I agree. I would still feel some kind of way if like my friend took a clip from our conversation and posted it,
and it went viral.
I
was like, why my friend's a bitch? But it's really about me and my journey. Like, okay, but the headline.
And I remember that conversation that we had. Like, that is our conversation for sure. Like, and I just be like, this is like, I'm glad I'm clapping for you, but can I just not be in the next content?
Okay.
Or can you let me
know when you're recording? Because now you have that whole conversation. How much of the conversation did you record? Because I was sharing.
Yeah, I didn't know you became a journalist all of a sudden, and I need to tell you when things are on or off the record.
Now I'm looking for cameras.
Literally. I can't feel safe around you. So I think that's the thing. The key point is like safety. Yeah. Kids should feel safe around their parents. Capitalism be messing up good things for us.
And really, it's funny that it's always the communication. Like mail. Majority of mail is ads. It's any way that humans have tried to be like, coupons. Hey, I want to talk to some people. Let's make this and talk to people. Ads. Yep. Reddit, ads. Every way that we can communicate that's not just, let me just go over her house.
Yep. Ads. That's why people now are like,
ads there. Shoot.
That's why people are like, oh, let's go ahead and do DMs instead. Let's go ahead and just do a private Discord chat or Slack chat or whatever instead. Because I don't want to be around all these ads.
All this someone trying to sell me something. Yes. I really hated the turn social media took when it would be like your favorite content creator, and this video starts off normal, and then you're just like, why are you holding that sponge? And it's like, this is a sponge ad, girl. This is a Scrub Daddy branded content partner. I've partnered with them, and you're like, girl, where is the curly hair girl content? Do the hair tutorial. I do not want to watch you scrub your sink after you washed your hair because you partnered with a sponge brand. This is crazy. For me, when it started doing that, I was like, oh no, something is wrong. Because this is they got them.
People, they got them. That's the thing that's happening with influencers. The shift that's happening with influencers and brands is that the consumer is starting to see through the brand bullshit.
Because what the hell?
It's like, okay, now just because my favorite TikToker is doing a dance sponsored by Sprite, it's like, okay, I can tell you that dance was sponsored by Sprite, bro. You don't do your usual, bro, a sponsored Sprite dance. You don't usually do that move.
I'm weak that I'm like, I haven't seen that, but did I question it at all? No, I bet you that's happening. I just 1000%. Know it is because brands love to be like, hey, they not like us. Yeah, they gotta come get these fries. And you're like, what? What are you doing? Why?
Oh, that chicken for Popeyes and Kendrick Lamar. Like, oh my God.
Squabble up for these wings at Popeyes. Like, oh my God. No. Remember when y'all squabbled up for that chicken sandwich? Get ready to get gobbled up by these turkey wings. Like, no, I hate this. We live in hell. Why? Why are they doing this? They're not people. You want to be a person so bad. So bad you want to be a person. You want a brand.
Like, hey, your ChatGPT going off, bro. Yo, and consumers are out here like, bro, I can see through that.
This is not real.
This is not real. I'm not about to retweet this a million times and repost it to all my fucking platforms.
Because why? Interact with this post for a free wing. Like, no. I want to skip this. I'm mad I watched it.
At least if I interact with the post, I get a free wing. If I
no, for real, because they're not even doing that.
You just right. You just trying to get me to come off this channel and go to your website.
They'll call to action, be like, download the Popeyes app. Like, no, I don't need a Popeyes app. Like, why?
Maybe if your favorite influencer is dancing a jig in our newest commercial, maybe you'll download the Popeyes app. And I don't want to. God. I can tell this person doesn't even eat Popeyes. Okay. Most of their content is in a fucking garden.
They don't even live near a Popeyes.
Right.
Like, where do they live?
Right. I've never seen them ever talk about Popeyes.
Get out. Everybody, both of you, influencer, you're fired. You're unfollowed. I'm damn near gonna block
That's why the shift that's happening in the influencer state right now is that less attraction to the most popular influencer and more on micro and nano influencers, people with like, in that between 500 followers to like 3,000 range are really on the rise right now. Because you're a real person still. And it's like, you're let's say you have 5,000 followers and every post you make gets like 30 comments or whatever, a good number of comments, people and shares and people talking about it, like that person is way more valuable and has better reach and connection than somebody who has 100,000
doing the Sprite Popeyes remix on TikTok
that has like a couple comments from bots. Like that's not, or all the comments are somebody being like, what's this?
Or the discussion like, is this an ad? Yeah, it's an ad. Oh, skip that, because what?
They're like, damn, J-Tay.
Not J-Tay.
Not J-Tay. I thought that you were anti-Popeyes. He's like,
I thought you were vegan.
Right.
Oh, they're vegan turkey wings.
And now influencers be in the comments like, hey, I had to get this check.
Okay.
I'm like, damn, so even the brands are just like,
it's like, I just did this for the money. I do not believe in this brand.
Right. So anyways.
No one's trusting no one. We don't trust you.
This is where we're at right now.
This is where we are, and we're excited for the Renaissance. Like we said, we
things are changing.
Again, focus. Mm-hmm. We're focusing on what's important. Mm-hmm. And for How to Be Real, it is important for us to actually build a community. I don't want to buy comments. We get all the time, I'm sure everybody does, these DMs about people who like, we sell followers. Come on, want 10,000 comments on your post? And it's insane when you see that. And it's like 10,000 comments, but it's like, again, bots, very heavy. Like there's no conversation going on. It's just people saying, nice, great, I'll try it, thumbs up. And it's like all these inorganic comments. And it's just like, okay, this is weird. You have 100 views and 10,000 comments.
What?
How?
Yeah. What
are people commenting on? What are they saying?
They're not saying a damn thing. Honestly, to be so honest, really special call out, shout out, big ups to my fellow millennial social media marketers. This is yet another change, update, unprecedented event. And I know that you're out there trying to figure out a new way.
Trying to roll with it. But I think
my heart is out with you. I see you. I am you. Ooh.
I think the beauty in that, though, is that it is a renaissance. And I've been really like, what 2024, all I was working on was like, there was so much in my life that I was like, I just don't know. I feel like I don't know what's going to happen with any of this shit. You know, there's so many variables everywhere. There's variables everywhere. My life feels like a variable and I don't know what's going to happen at any given moment. You're like, I don't know. I'm up, I'm down, I'm all around. I don't know. This is too much. It's too much not knowing. And I spent all of last year just reframing my perspective on not knowing and being like, okay, when you don't know what's next, anything is really possible. And that's the time to get intentional about what you're doing, because if you want a certain outcome, it's time to ground and figure out, well, what do I need to do, or what can I do, obviously, to help steer me in that direction. Because it's like, you're not a car on the road where you can like drive. We're like sailboats. You know, the wind is gonna blow and you can either use it and try to direct yourself, or you can just get blown the hell around. And I think last year I was like, I'm done getting blown around. I'm done reacting to it, or like being like, oh dang, the wind is strong, let me It's like, no, let's try to like not see the wind being strong as like a bad thing and the wind being calm as the good thing. It's like, no, they're both needed, actually. And there are a lot of good things come from both, and then there are some cons to both. So let's just not try to assign a label to this.
Yes, no labels, you know, no judgments.
It's chaos, it's new, it's unknown, but does that mean it's bad? Does it have to mean that? Sometimes it is the case, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes a lot of good can come from change. You know, and change is uncomfortable. And that's like, there's no way to actually change without being uncomfortable. And that will transition us to our third segment today, which is, what would you do?
What would you do?
What would you do? This scenario is a popular one we've thought about quite a lot. What would you do if you were Drake trying to make your comeback right now? Like, what would you do? You woke up, you're Drake, and you're like, you know what? I gotta get it back.
You know, I wouldn't. If I was Drake, hot take, I would not be trying to do shit right now. If I was Drake, I would be quiet. I would try to kind of let people like get it out their system. You know what I mean? Like, y'all get it out your system. You're not about to hear from me. I know y'all already don't really want to, even though, you know, he's on tour and stuff right now. And I think, you know, Drake is still Drake. You know what I mean? He's still Drake. He still has his fan base and everything like that. But I would still be like, okay, let me wrap up this tour and not do a damn thing. Let me just sit down. Let me go be with my family. Let me go be with my son. Let me go get captured being at a soccer game or two. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to be me. I'm going to just do me for a second. And I'm going to just chill for a few years. Like, let people miss me. Let people wonder, what's going on with Drake? Where he been at? You know what I mean? Like, supply and demand. Right now, it's too much supply. I don't know. Too much supply, not enough demand. What would you do?
I don't agree. I mean, okay, I definitely hear what you're saying, but I don't feel like that is something. If I'm Drake, if I wake up, I'm Drake, my ego is not gonna let me do that. You're not finna just run me off, bro. I'm Mr. Summertime. Like, I'm finna get the summer back. Like, for me, that is because Drake used to have the summers on lock.
No, he did.
If I were him, I would have dropped closer to summer, and I would have dropped summer content, because that is what you're for. Beach playlists. You go to the cabana, they playing this thing. Like, that's where you need to find where it was hot. That's what I would do. One, I would do exactly what you said. I think the tour I would not have did. I think he came out too quick. I think what he needed to do was what you just said. For like, as soon as Not Like Us came out, that's what you should have did. You should have woo. And I know
sit down.
I know I'm feeling away. I know this. I feel got. Because he can say whatever he want to say. I know he felt got.
Oh,
he may not admit defeat in the beef, which maybe he might. Which again, that's probably something I would do. Like, damn, that was crazy. And I would kind of not emerge. And then when I did emerge,
you did do a little like final thing. But sorry, when you do emerge, what would you do?
When I did emerge, I would do, or when I did emerge. That sounded weird when I said it the first time. But when I did emerge, it would be something that was intentional and actually thought out and like a plan. Something that I like what we were talking about Lemonade earlier.
Yes.
Remember that whole incident with Solange beating the hell out of Jay-Z in that elevator?
Yeah.
That happened and everybody was like, what happened? What happened? What happened? Nobody said anything, and then Lemonade dropped.
Yeah.
Woo! And we got the story. At least we think. Because why not? Why else?
But again, Tosh, she quiet. We didn't hear nothing from Beyonce.
Exactly. And I think that's why I said he should have did what you said. As soon as Not Like Us and you dropped whatever you had to say and it flopped, that was when it would be like, yeah, let me just go lick my wounds. Let me get into therapy. Let me spend some time with my son. There was, again, I put here too, I would definitely take some of the advice that Kendrick was saying, because it was one of the songs where he just was saying all this stuff. Was it Euphoria? It was Euphoria. And he's like, it ain't just me. I'm with the culture feeling. Yeah. And when he said that, I was like, yikes, because I really was like, this is good advice.
Yeah.
This is good advice. I'm with the culture feeling. The people that was loving you, bro, we're 30 now. We do not want to hear about your drugs and young ladies, and I think it's time for you to grow up a little bit.
And are they a little too young?
Are they a little too young?
That's
this was a reminder of us. This was a slap in the face, and I feel like he did need it. I do feel like he needed it. Like, that's why it feels like the Kendrick going off is like, this was like a friend you really fell out with.
Yeah.
You liked him? Because if you felt no ways about this man, there's no way you can hate him. Hate him this much.
Yeah, no.
There's a lot coming here. You cared for this man at one point, and he did you wrong. And you said, you know what? I'm going to air you out. And you did.
You did.
We love that you did, Kendrick. But Drake, I think it should have been something where it's like, you know what? Maybe I take some of this advice, some of the ones that stick.
Yeah.
Turn inward. And then when I come out, the music I'm putting out, I might even use that. And then use what I learned by taking that advice, maybe get in therapy, and then I would use that journey as the basis for my next album.
Yeah.
And then the music that you heard from me would be more mature. It would be more like, it would be different.
Yeah.
And reemerge. Because something that we've all enjoyed about Drake is that he is always kind of different. Like, he's giving us a little something, a new accent, a new something, a new genre. And it's like, it's cool.
Wearing a new culture as a robe.
And I feel like the judgment on that is like, you're a culture vulture. And then, okay, maybe the critique is, maybe there's a way for you to do it where you don't have to actually have the accent. Maybe you just do the music and you just use your regular voice.
Right. Just embrace Canadian culture, bro. Right. Maybe do French. Quebec.
Or maybe don't. Maybe just do whatever style of song you like in your voice.
Yeah.
But maybe find your voice. And maybe that's something that Drake don't know.
He definitely don't know that.
Maybe it's a character. Maybe Drake is a character. Maybe you reemerge as Aubrey.
That would be crazy.
And really let us in.
That would be some shit. That seemed like some Drake shit. I feel like,
yes, I would have totally Draked. People like Aubrey. When you Drake. People be like, remember the Drake?
He'd be the type of nigga that would give Drake a funeral. He'd be like, he'd post a post that'd be like, R.I.P. date of birth, date of death. Drake, here lies Drake.
What is it? 2010 to 2025. Aubrey. Introducing Aubrey. Make that album the intro.
It'd probably be a two-parter, like one's dark, one's light.
Oh my God, I would tune in.
He'd Slim Shady it.
And oh my God. And I'm sure the music would be better. I think it would be better than what he's been putting out.
Yeah.
So that's my main thing. I would go back to OG Drake and figure out, okay, what part of this is still there? And then who am I today? And then I would make my music accordingly. And yeah, I think it would bop because, shit, we liked Drake when he was Drake. Even Kendrick said, I like Drake
with the melodies.
I don't like Drake when he act tough. No. And maybe this ain't you, bro. Or maybe it is, but find a way to do it that's not cosplaying as somebody else.
Yeah.
This version of you and your artistry has got to end.
Yeah, it's also
commercial.
It's too commercial. It's too, what do you say? Target and skews. Like most stuff says.
The small is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like also, last thing I'll say on this is the thing that I would do if I was Drake while I was being quiet and waiting for my reemergence, I would also be giving back. I would start a scholarship fund. You know what I mean? Like, I heard that he just gave money to a fan's mom's cancer treatment, like sweet. Somebody in the crowd or whatever, which I was like, okay, see, let's do that,
stuff like that. Let's connect with your audience in that way.
Yes,
I love that.
Like,
I love that.
Okay, what do y'all need? Like, become like your own version of like Mr. Beast or something. Yeah,
because you got the money.
You got the money. I mean, Mr. Beast, he's way out there now, but just somebody who's giving back.
Yeah,
just for the sake of giving back.
I like that too, because his fans be fighting for their life in the comments defending him, and they do it. And I think that is something that if I were, Drake, I would totally appreciate that, because I'm like, y'all don't have to do that. Like, you guys really could just be quiet, but instead you're on this Kendrick Lamar 10 billion view video of the Super Bowl performance, being like, it wasn't even good, we didn't even like it, I don't even understand. Like, you're under there just, Drake still winning, like, you're you know what I mean, like, you're capping for me. You capping for me. Thank you. You got my name still out there. Like, forget y'all. It's some people that still think I won, and that would really just have me like, look, you said your mom need what? Here you go.
There you go.
This is the Drake Relief Fund.
Yes.
Were you in LA? Did your house? Was your house
money
affected?
All around.
Sign up here.
I'm giving stuff away. I'm giving it away. Like, I might even show up and collect.
Shoot a free concert in Toronto.
Yeah, I would be doing like shit for my people. Let me give back to y'all. Had to hold me down for so long and still are. Let me give some shit to y'all.
Let me give some shit to y'all because you deserve it.
Boom. There we go.
But yeah, that'll bring us to our thank you, which, like, we saying thank you to Miss Jasmine Felicia Crockett.
Period.
She's an American lawyer and politician who's been a U.S. representative from Texas' 30th Congressional District since January 2023 as a member of the Democratic Party. Her district covers most of South Dallas County, Central Dallas, whatever, just all over Dallas. And she's always calling out blatant corruption and stupidity in our government and standing up for American people. Yes. I always love hearing her comments. Her latest one, she was recently asked if she was to say something to Elon Musk, what would she say? And she said, fuck off. And I totally agree. Please get the hell out of our government. Yes. Nobody voted for you, and I pray no one ever will. Let's get this motherfucker out of here.
And Jasmine Crockett, correct me if I'm wrong, she's bad built butch body.
Yes, that's her.
Yes, beach blonde, bad built butch
Marjorie
body.
Taylor Greene, and I was like, yes, tell her. We need
an
her.
Icon.
Yes,
an icon.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes, we need her. It is your time to shine, Dallas. Y'all better keep that lady in office, please.
Don't play with her,
please, because she is repping. She is repping.
Yeah, she is.
You need to ask Dami how she feels about her, because that would be giving me life in Texas. Like, yes, girl, we need you. God protect her, and yeah, girl, keep repping.
Yes,
we love it.
Thank you, Miss Crockett.
Thank you.
And that'll bring us to our closeout this week. So, as we've been talking so much about in this episode, community, we want y'all a part of our community. So please stay connected with us. You can find us at How to Be Real, the letter B real on Instagram and TikTok. You can find me. I'm at justsay_tay.
And I am at the Tasha B.
Yes, please send us an email. Share how you're feeling right now. We asked a bunch of questions in today's episode.
We always do.
So please send us your thoughts. heyhowtobereal@gmail.com. We'll get right back to you. Clearly, if you want to leave us a rating, a review, a couple comments on our socials, we always react. We always respond. And again, a special thank you to St. Theodore for that very special
that
rating.
Was sweetest. You made our entire Black History Month with that one. That was amazing. I love it.
Yes. +1 to that. As always, you can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, because we also make these visuals available for y'all as well.
So baby, check us out.
We cute. We try to stay cute, and remember, we're not therapists, we just have them.
That part.
And this week's weekly reel, or excuse me, random reel, is on me. And I really wanted to say, y'all are the secret sauce. You are the secret sauce. There's so much talk in social media about do this to get 1,000 followers, do that, post every day to woo, woo.
Always.
You always hear about stuff. And I want to remind you that you are the secret sauce. all of that's just fluff. They're putting that out there, again, as we mentioned, to keep eyeballs on the platform. But it's not about that. It's about you, what you do, you putting your heart behind it all. You make this shit run. You make it happen.
I heard that.
So, yeah.
Keep doing you.
And with that, stay real.